As August rolls along, a fairly interesting weather pattern is shaping up that is really featured on the strength of the jet stream, which is not. It has gone fairly weak over North America, split into two parts. I'll show it to you in just a minute. But this much weaker jet stream, I mean, it's been a summer that's been Northern Plains, Southern Canada, Upper Midwest, uncharacteristically windy, a lot of wind storms and just windy days, and a combination of hot weather and cool weather going back and forth. Fairly volatile summer weather pattern. Now we're kind of sliding into something that's much softer. Not as much heat, not as much cool weather either, not as much change, and it also won't be very rainy. But that trade-off comes with the absence of really hot weather. Let me show you that jet stream. It's split into two parts right now. We've got the primary polar jet, which is way up north, which if it had any strength to it, would probably pull a great deal of hot weather up north, but instead it's relatively weak. There's a southern branch of that jet that will occasionally have influences on the temperature pattern. The hot 90s and a stray 100-degree temperature will actually get narrower and narrower into the northern plains. Out west, this weather pattern of weak upper-level winds will allow the usual hot weather in the desert southwest to expand a bit and actually push out even to the coast in some areas of the Pacific Northwest. Next couple of weeks look very hot. Places like Seattle and Portland. There'll be occasional incursions of that hot weather into Montana, but over most of the areas east of the Rockies, the only truly hot areas will be the places that are typically hot. This is the hottest time of the year down in Texas, and South Florida will be very warm through the week. A lot of this weather, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, it's going to be 70s and 80s. A lot of 80s in South Dakota, a lot of 70s in parts of North Dakota and Minnesota. Just really pretty comfortable weather for this week. As we go through the second week, not a lot of change, except I do think we'll finally start to see the polar jet stream begin to curve southward in the Hudson Bay area, and that'll begin to start to see some cooler weather as we move toward the fall season. Now, what does this mean for precipitation? With the jet stream fairly weak, there's not likely to be very much. Scattered showers, thunder showers, mostly of the air mass variety, all along the eastern seaboard. This is the southern monsoon. All that hot weather pulls moisture up, so the southern Rockies and even occasionally the deserts are prone to heavy thunderstorms at times. That's this week. The second week of the forecast, not a lot of change. Not a lot of rain out into the northern Great Plains. The monsoons may connect through the Midwest and into the Great Lakes with some slightly above average rainfall, but most of the northern plains and the western United States will be a little dry. But in the northern plains area, at least, it won't be terribly hot.